On my left, Managing Director, Non-Executive Directors, Ken Fleming, Sandy Beard. Also with us is Justin Hill, a Company Secretary and Legal Counsel, and also Margaret Huxley, our meeting minute taker. Also present today is Nick Carter, the company's auditor, and Simon Jones, tax accountant from WLF Accounting Advisory. Nick and Simon are also available to answer questions if there are any on the financial accounts. There are a couple of people here from Pure Foods management team that you'll be able to meet and have a chat with after the meeting. Could I remind everyone, if you've got a mobile phone, if you could turn it to silent now. Confirm the attendance and proxies I hold as chairman represent a quorum being present for the purposes of the Constitution. I therefore formally declare the annual general meeting open. The order of the meeting is, I'll provide a quick overview of the company. We will then move to the formal voting of resolutions as set out in the notice of meeting. We will take questions, if any, on each of the resolutions being moved. If anyone present has a question, please show your shareholder card, state your name and address your question through the chair. Following the formal items of the meeting, Michael will provide an update on current initiatives, operational matters, and also potentially exciting plans for the future growth of our company. I will now proceed to the Chairman's address to briefly outline the activities and progress of the company in the last year. It has been, to say at least, an interesting and a busy one. Firstly, a little on our history. Pure Foods Tasmania started as a private company in 2015, formed by 18 shareholders to distribute and showcase Tasmanian premium produce to local, interstate and overseas markets. Beginning with two businesses, Tasmanian Pate and Woodbridge Smokehouse, our strategy has remained to grow organically and through further acquisitions. Following the successful ASX listing in April this year, I'm sure everyone is aware of the market support, and naturally the board is extremely pleased that the shareholder base sees the value in our proposition in the marketplace. We feel it is unique. Impact of COVID. Pure Foods Tasmania experienced continued strong performance of our core businesses through COVID 2020, despite the global uncertainty in the wake of the COVID pandemic. The business adjusted to the unique set of challenges and managed to continue production through the changes in the marketplace, while maintaining a strong focus on staff health and safety. Our production team have done a great job. Pure Foods Tasmania aims to grow and acquire, develop premium food businesses in Tasmania, particularly if associated products are aligned with our existing range. We ensure to maintain an awareness of international trends in consumer tastes, healthy food options, convenience and packaging. Some examples of recent initiatives. A new sub-range of Tasmanian Pate products has meant 3 new lines into retail stores nationally under a new brand, Homestead. A new line of plant-based products under the New Pastures brand, which aims to further develop Tasmania's presence in the global plant-based food market, with great potential of product expansion. A range of ready-to-eat meal solutions is currently being developed to target a premium convenience market. Focusing on the Tasmanian produce, the range will showcase a fresher meal option to that currently available in the market. The recent acquisition of Daily Potato Company, which is a national supplier of ready-prepared salad range, is absolutely in line with our strategic direction, and it's great to see Susie here today with us. In October 2019, PFT successfully relocated its Pate factory to the new site, which provides room for expansion and the space to combine new technology with our fast-growing volume. The move also allowed us to think about servicing the international market interest, and accordingly, we have now achieved the necessary export licence for Tasmanian Pate. Our people. Our success and growth initiatives can only be delivered by a dedicated and committed team. Focus and investment in our people is paramount to maintaining a skilled, engaged and effective workforce. The health, well-being and safety of our employees will always continue to be a priority. We are proud to say we have a good diversity of gender, age and ethnic background in the production and corporate office. We currently have a 52% female whole of company majority. As a result of our expansion, Pure Foods Tasmania created roles for staff across most areas. Providing employment for our local community is very important to us. We want to ensure we support the economy through the growth of small business and employment. Importantly for people is company culture. The board maintains a strong focus on all aspects of corporate governance, not only ensuring that its policies, practices and frameworks are of a high standard, but also that they evolve, meeting increasing community expectations. The board also seeks to monitor that the company's values of integrity, respect, safety, community and commitment are upheld and ensure a positive culture can thrive. It is appropriate that I take this opportunity and purposely within the context and the importance of company culture to recognise a very important person. On behalf of the board and company family, I wish to mark our respects to a person that was instrumental in setting the culture and direction of the company. I'm referring to Robert Johnson, who sadly passed away recently. Rob was the inaugural chairman of Pure Foods Tasmania and a huge supporter of everything the company set out to achieve. Robbie was not only a business colleague, but friend to many shareholders of Pure Foods, helping set the scene and doing the hard yards as you do in any setup. Rob could be very proud seeing the company holding its first AGM as an ASX listed company. Robbie will be greatly missed. In closing, on behalf of the board, I wish to thank all staff on achieving such a strong start to a newly listed company and setting the momentum for what will no doubt be a successful 2021 financial year and beyond. We would also like to thank our customers, suppliers, local community and shareholders for their support over this important year. Thank you. I'll now move to the business contained in the notice of meeting. There's a little bit to get through in the reading here. I table the notice of the meeting of the 27th of November as read. Please note that I intend to vote all undirected proxy votes available to the chairman of the meeting in favour of each resolution. In addition, the share registry has received proxies from shareholders who have put forward their poll pertaining to each resolution. The number of proxies will be shown on the screen at the time. To kick off, this meeting gives shareholders the opportunity to ask questions and discuss the reports for the financial year ended 2020 of the company as announced in the annual general report and prepared in accordance with the Corporations Act 2001. Are there any questions from shareholders on the financial reports before we proceed to voting on the resolutions? If so, please raise your hand and when asked, state your name, have your shareholder card identifiable before asking the question. Well, that would be the case, thank you. As voting is based on a poll, meaning everyone votes according to the number of shares held in addition to the number of proxies received, any shareholder present that has not provided a proxy form can vote and hand in their voting card at the end of the meeting. The combined results will be released on the market as soon as possible following the meeting. We'll move to Resolution 1, Remuneration Report. That the remuneration report for the company and its controlled entities be adopted by shareholders for the year ended 30th of June 2020, be approved and adopted on the terms and conditions in the explanatory memorandum. I will take the resolution as read as per the notice of meeting. Are there any questions from the floor in relation to this resolution? Thank you. I move that the remuneration report be approved as per Resolution 1. Before we move to Resolution 2, I will hand over to my fellow director, Michael, as Resolution 2 is a vote in favour of my election.
Resolution 2, the re-election of Malcolm McCauley as director. That Malcolm McCauley, who retires at the AGM as director by rotation in accordance with Rule 7.2B of the Constitution, who is eligible for re-election, be re-elected as director of the company. I will take the resolution as read as per the notice of meeting. Is there any questions from the floor in relation to this resolution? No? I move that Malcolm McCauley is re-elected and director of the company under Resolution 2.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for your support. Resolution 3, approval of 10% placement facility. That pursuant to and in accordance with the Listing Rule 7.1A and all other purposes, shareholders approve the issue of equity securities totalling up to 10% of the issued capital of the company at the time of issue, calculated in accordance with the formula prescribing Listing Rule 7.1A2 and on the terms and conditions in the explanatory memorandum. I will take the resolution as read as per the notice of meeting. Are there any questions from the floor in relation to this resolution? I move that the issue of equity securities totalling 10% of the issued capital of the company under Resolution 3 be approved. A poll will be called on this resolution and the details of the results will be released following the meeting. Resolution 4, approval to issue performance rights to the Managing Director, Michael Cooper. That pursuant to and in accordance with the Listing Rule 10.14 and for all other purposes, shareholders approve the issue of 1 million performance rights to the Managing Director, Michael Cooper, or his nominee, under the Pure Foods Tasmania Limited Employee Securities Incentive Plan, on the terms and conditions summarised in the explanatory memorandum. I will take the resolution as read as per the notice of meeting. Are there any questions from the floor in relation to this resolution? Thank you. I move the issue of 1 million performance rights to the Managing Director, Michael Cooper, under the Pure Foods Tasmania Limited Employee Securities Investment Plan, as per Resolution 4, be approved. A poll will be called on the resolution and the details of the results will be released following the meeting. Resolution 5, and we're on the home straight. Appointment of auditor. That for the purposes of Section 327B(1) of the Corporations Act 2001 and for all other purposes, Wise Lord and Ferguson, having consented in writing to act as auditors of the company, be reappointed as auditors of the company. I will take the resolution as read as per the notice of meeting. Are there any questions from the floor in relation to this resolution? Thank you. I move that Wise Lord and Ferguson be appointed as auditors of the company under Resolution 5 for this coming year. A poll will be called on this resolution. The details of the results will be released following the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, that ends the voting formalities of this year's AGM of Pure Foods Tasmania. And I'd now like to hand over to Michael Cooper, Managing Director, to receive an update of which shareholders have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of Michael's presentation.
Thanks, Malcolm. Now the exciting stuff. We'll just start you off firstly with a little intro video that I need to put together our brand and marketing superstar. She's the one that makes me look really good, and it's created all these new brands that you've seen that weren't there before. So this was actually done down at Woodbridge, this very close to where Roger lives. So as you can see, that was what Malcolm mentioned about the 3 new homestead SKUs that we launched into Woolworths nationally, 850 stores nationally. That first orders came in late September and they reordered again in October. So early signs are very successful. So well done to Anita and the team creating a brand. I think we created that brand in about 6 weeks, one of Anita's first jobs. To get full ranging into national retail is pretty impressive. The best thing about that product alone is we're using Tasmanian dairy, both cheese and butter. We're also using Lark Brandy, Mr. Shadford, which is great, into the duck and brandy product, which is actually a sensational product. And obviously we're using Tasmanian salmon as well, so, and free range chicken from down at Dunalley. So pretty impressive. That's nearly 100% Tasmanian product. So that's another great example of what our DNA is all about. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk to you quickly about the financials. I know that you've all seen them in the annual report and so on. But I'll run through, and obviously there was only 2 months of last financial year that we're actually involved in. So, in May and June, we moved into being a listed entity on the 30th of April. So just quickly, and I'll just have a look at this. So you can see that the growth we've had, Tasmania has had significant growth along the journey since our inception of that business. It continues on that track. Obviously, with the addition of the new SKUs going to Woolworths, we'll see more significant growth of that business into the balance of this year. As you can see there, we had a 20% growth on year ago. EBITDA was also, it's quite small for me to read, but was also up significantly. You can see the EBITDA figure there, I think it was up 80%. So it's quite successful. I might just move this a bit closer because my eyes are getting a bit older. Keep going. And we'll move into Woodbridge. So you'll see that we did have a decline in Woodbridge, and there was a bit of work to do at Woodbridge. Woodbridge has really been a bit of a standout since we did a restructuring. We did reduce the amount of SKUs that we were producing at Woodbridge. We were basically producing, we had about 70 products, SKU as a product, individual product. We're now down to about 12 products. So it's very much the 90-10 rule. 90% of the volume is coming out of 10% of the products. So that's made us a lot more efficient, and you'll see shortly Woodbridge has actually been an absolute standout over the last couple of months and really got some great momentum. So, but as you can see, that's pretty well explains. We got into positive EBITDA. You can see a year ago it had a loss of 280, but we got it to a positive EBITDA of 22. So that's a 300K turnaround. So it's a pretty impressive result, and they've actually grown tenfold since then, which is great. So what have we achieved? We did achieve a lot. I mean, basically it's come Monday, it's 6 months since we became listed. So the 30th of November will be 6 months. It's been a real amazing journey. As you can all see where we started in the share price and where it is today. It's quite incredible to see the actual buy-in from shareholders and all support from suppliers and staff alone. So we launched new pate SKUs. As you can see, our online e-commerce channel has been exceptionally successful. Anita spent a lot of time on that. It's one of the main things that she wanted to get up and running. And hopefully you're all been using the online channel as well. If at the end of today, the people here will get a voucher to use more online for Christmas. So we're not only just doing our own product online, we're actually adding other Tasmanian producers to it. And it's also a bit of a seeder for us to see if there's another opportunity out there in Tasmanian food and beverage that we can potentially talk about acquiring or working with. So it's a bit of a seeder as well. Early indications is the online channel will continue to grow. We know globally, consumers now are used to online. It's probably jumped 10 years ahead of what it was going to be. We used to buy our shoes, now we buy our toothbrushes, our food, everything. And I think that will continue to grow. Global trends are saying it will continue to grow. So we're really investing hard in the e-commerce channel. And I'll show you some new good news shortly. Another really exciting announcement, which was we secured major distribution into South Australian IGA stores. The independent markets in South Australia are world-renowned. One of the independent chains over there has been internationally world recognised retailer for 2 years in a row. So the best independent retailer in the world comes out of South Australia. They have a very strong platform there. And Mondo Nissan, who is our partner there, have just put Woodbridge Smokehouse into every store in South Australia. So that's had massive growth. We've had 2 orders now in less than 4 weeks. So you can continue to see that grow. We're doing in-store demonstrations. We're doing Facebook postcode support to those stores. Anita's brand up all the Mondo Nissan team with Woodbridge shirts. We're really working very closely with Mondo Nissan. Mondo Nissan also do our pate. So we are strengthening that business with them. Mondo Nissan is a significant size business. They're owned by the Philippines company, and they own brands like Nudie Juice. They own Menorah Foods. They own Wattle Valley. Quite a few different brands. They own Black Swan Dips as well. So they've got a significant national platform, which is great to be partnered with. More exciting news, talk about e-commerce, is we just recently only sent an order 2 weeks ago to the Meat Club in Singapore. The Meat Club in Singapore is a 100% Australian-focused, produced e-commerce store based in Singapore, owned by an expat of Australia, an Australian, sorry, not Australian. We've just secured that business. Now, these sort of businesses don't take 5 minutes. I think we first started working back with these guys back in July. So we've only recently got an order 2 weeks ago. There's a lot of food safety requirements got to go through, a lot of accreditation. Sam, our production manager here, spends a lot of time filling out forms and getting HACCP samples done and testing to be compliant to the Asian standard.
So that's very exciting, and that will only grow. I mean, they've got 800 customers. You can order, as long as you order before 3 o'clock, they'll deliver to your door anywhere in Singapore the next day by 10 a.m. in the morning. And that's mainly, it was mainly designed about Australian meat originally, and they've added other produce to it. So they're a great new customer for us as well. New passes, you can see over there, that's plant-based dairy. We can call it plant-based cheese. You can actually taste it. It's on the back there, over the back. I think Rowan's having a couple already. It's sensational category itself. The plant-based foods and beverage category is the fastest growing food and beverage category in the world. It's actually growing in the US at about 18%, and it's a $4.2 billion category. So we are in this space, and you'll see more NPD come from us in the plant-based foods. And plant-based foods now, if it's not really it's not called a vegan food anymore, it's called flexitarians. Like, I will eat both foods, for example, like I love meat, but I'll also eat plant-based foods. And it's also, you know, there's sustainability with plant-based foods, so we don't have the methane coming out of cows and things like that. So there's lots of environmental solution to the whole plant-based food and beverage category. So that's quite exciting for us. We've also just recently launched a B2B e-commerce as well. So the strategy is there that we actually have a B2B platform for us going directly to restaurants as such. So the traditional support to get product to a restaurant is through a food service wholesaler. So there is a middleman in the middle. We've actually taken the middleman out, and we're going directly from the factory directly to the restaurant. So there's a margin in the middle there, which we're picking up. We've got logistics costs of about 8% to take out of that margin, but there's probably about another 20 points we're going to pick up by going directly to the actual restaurant or cafe as such, or hotel or tourism venue. So it allows us to have a platform that we wouldn't be able to service unless we went through a major food service wholesaler. And we also control the customer, which is so important, to control the customer directly, not through a third party, where we possibly can, and we've actually achieved that. So early indications, that's been super exciting. We've also launched new websites. Every brand's got to have its own website. So Anita's been really busy doing that as well. We've launched one for the homestead. We've launched a new one for Woodbridge has been done as well, and obviously for new pastures. So Anita's been exceptionally busy in the short time she's been with us. We haven't quite worn her out yet, but we've been going close. So, and we've also built a really brand new route business in Tasmania up and down the street. So we put on a sales team now. We've got 2 in our sales team. We're calling directly on every store in Tasmania that's selling food or beverage. So we're building a route team. Controlling the route market is the most profitable space you'll be in. When you're dealing with retailers, the margin's a bit tighter, and obviously they've got a lot more power. So, and obviously you don't have full control, but when you've got your own route business, you're up and down the street. So whatever brands we acquire, we can put into our portfolio, and our sales people will be able to go to a customer and sell them some product. But it's all about cost of service. So we've got to make sure we have a portfolio where you get a strike rate every time. It's like going fishing, you want to get a fish. When we go to retailers, we want to sell them product. So if we have a portfolio, that's what the consumer wants, we'll always get an order. And it's the most profitable part of your business. Once again, e-commerce, I talked a bit about this as well. You can see a few numbers there over to the right. We've had a 43% increase in our e-commerce business based on same time a year ago. So, full year. That's full year to date. So it's actually really flying, and we're getting more and more growth every day. You know, when you go up into the girls packing massive amount of orders, all you see is boxes everywhere and product flying around. And the courier, when I first turned up, the courier would turn up and he goes, "What have you got today?" And he goes, "We've got a couple." Comes up, he came in the other day and he goes, "I can't believe this business. It's the fastest growing e-commerce business we've got. It's a Star Trek driver." So I thought that was positive. So I was quite happy to hear those words. So, and that's from the driver. So you know it's going well then, because they know everything. Okay, so well, it's been mentioned about Mondo Nissan. Just a slide to reinforce that relationship. Mondo Nissan are going to continue to take other product from us. They service a significant amount. There's 1,500 IGA stores in the country, and they service probably 95% of those customers. So we'll be adding other produce. Daily is a good example of that. Plant-based cheese is a good example of that, and our seafood program, which I'll show you shortly. The Asian e-commerce, which is the Meat Club, just wanted to point that out again. For Woodbridge, that is a game changer for Woodbridge. I'll show you the next slide. Well, this is breaking news, this one, because this slide was not put to the market. I only got this confirmation last night at 9 o'clock. we've actually been able to secure a e-commerce relationship with Redmart. Redmart is owned by Alibaba. So Alibaba is the biggest, as you know, e-commerce channel in the world. They've got this Redmart is based in Singapore. They've got a revenue of $100 million. And basically we've been working with these guys now for probably 5 months. And we got I got my first confirmation last night that the game is on. And we got our first trial order. This is a significant business. You know, got $100 million in revenue. And from what I understand, what I've been told is we're the only Tasmanian supplier to Redmart, which is pretty impressive. So this is where the market is going in e-commerce. These guys supply 7 different countries out of Singapore in e-commerce. I mean, Alibaba, as you know, is not a small operation. So they also own Lazardan at the top, if I pronounce that right. That's a large supermarket chain as well, which is based in Asia, which has distribution throughout Hong Kong as well. So that is super exciting for us. And it's only came last night. So that's breaking news. We talk about the growth of Woodbridge. You know, Woodbridge FY21 to the end of November is up 157%. And that was as of last night, and we've still got today's trade and got Mondays. So it did about, you know, 2 weeks ago, it did 1 month's sales in 1 week. So that had to be reduced. So it puts a lot of pressure on the team. And Sam was totally snowballed in fish. I'm sure he went home smelling of trout and salmon every night. But to achieve that sort of volume in potentially a small operation is quite significant. He's got to maintain food safety as well, and that's not an easy thing, cold chain the whole process. We have actually invested in the growth of Woodbridge by extending our factory at Mornington. So we'll continue to do all the smoking at Woodbridge, traditionally over timber, which is the DNA of that brand. And we'll be moving the value adding, the slicing and packaging to Mornington so we can dispatch it all together with our other products. We just can't keep the growth up. It's been quite amazing. You know, the quality of our salmon and trout is by far the best in the world. And our founder is here actually. Roger is here, and he actually started a great business. And traditionally smoking over timber is where we get these unique flavours. No one else in Tasmania that we know of smokes over timber. The 3 larger players all smoke over auto smoke, which is an automated process, but they use shavings. We're using proper timber. So, I mean, the standard, there's product in the back there, but from all and we are a premium product, and because we are hand smoking, we have to have a premium, but we're getting premium pricing, and we're actually outselling our competitors in major retailers in Tasmania. We're like 30 to 40% more expensive. So it's a credit to the whole DNA of that Woodbridge brand. We talk about the group's performance. So November performance year to date, quite happy to say we're up 49%. So those numbers aren't finalised. Hopefully by Monday morning it'll be 52% because we'll have Friday and Monday sales in. So the business itself is absolutely flying. We're growing quickly, and we have to manage our growth and look after our people and make sure our suppliers support us as well, which have been amazing so far. So all good. So moving forward, the main focus, I think Malcolm mentioned itself, we will continue to grow organically, and we will also acquire as well. We've got lots of different conversations going on in the acquisition space. Ken Fleming over here to my left is our acquisition guru, which spends a lot of time talking about opportunities, meeting with potential opportunities. And if we think it goes further, we go through the right channels and hopefully we can convert. But there's lots of opportunities. And you know, just on that, I'm saying that what we're seeing is that, you know, Tasmania through COVID has gone to another level. You know, people now are so paranoid about what they put in their mouth. They're so paranoid about, you know, where they go and what they touch and what they feel. But one thing people are doing is making sure they're probably eating more than they ever have. They're eating at home more than they have. And I don't think that'll change too much going forward. So we're in such a great space. And I think we're getting the growth because Tasmania is known for being clean and green, as we've all been told for the last 50 years. But finally, the world is looking at Tasmania and Ireland. We can protect ourselves. We've got great produce here. We've got great soil, great water, and the whole world is looking at us. I mean, we've got shareholders in New York now that's saying we can't wait to come to Tasmania. Never been here, but we bought your shares because we really believe in the DNA of Pure Foods Tasmania. So it's about timing. It's all about timing. And I think Tasmania has jumped 10 years ahead of it with this recent with COVID. So COVID has been very positive for us. We feel for people that has affected, but in our business, it's been exceptionally positive. And we feel that every day. I did mention we will, meal solution, Malcolm talked about that. We're moving into meal solutions. So our meal solution business will be quite unique and different to other meal solutions. It'll be 100% Tasmanian produce or 100% Tasmanian made within Tasmania. And we'll be putting that to the market. You've seen the success of UFoods. You've seen the success of ready-to-eat meals. I mean, Mark and Spence in the UK have been doing it for many years. Feed your family for $10. The meals will be $10, $12, but we will be 100% Tasmanian produce where at all possible, and it'll be actually quite unique to whatever's on the market as well. So we're doing a lot of work on that. We'll be launching next year in that product, but watch this space because we've got our salad side with Susie's business. We've got a great fish. We've got great trout. We've got some plant-based product. We've got other protein coming as well. So it's going to be really cool. We're also beverages was where I was brought up. So we are openly saying we'll be getting into the beverage business. We're doing a lot of work behind the scenes in where the best category to be within beverages, in which space we jump into. So watch this space in the beverage space. We've also got some pretty exciting news. Let's move the next slide here. This is a real game changer. We've been working pretty hard to find a really significant point of difference. Apart from our great brand, we needed to find a real point of difference that was 100% Tasmanian, 100% unique, and this is 100% organic. So as you've seen, wakame. Wakame is an organic seaweed grown in Tasmania, on the east coast of Tasmania. This partnership is with a biotech specialist. Marinova is a Tasmanian-based company. They've been in business for over 15 years, and they specialise in really unique derivatives from this origami seaweed. It's quite amazing. It's high in vitamins. You can see all the different additives that it has there. We'll be bringing product to the market that has a partnership with Marinova, which will be very unique, and no one has it because we've got exclusivity of this product for a 4-year agreement. So that's including beverages in the Australian market only, not internationally, but we've got international exclusivity for all within food. So it's a point of difference again from where our other players are. And we've done early indications of the trials. There's no effect to the flavour. So that's super exciting. Just a few slides about the marketing and what Anita's been working on. We are sort of doing a lot of photography. We're doing a lot of branding. We're really trying to promote ourselves authentically what we are. This one here is I know Susie's over there smiling about this one, but this is a real game changer for the daily business. Susie, and I should mention Jared as well, he's down there with the irrigator now growing the potatoes, but Susie's probably spent how many hours, I don't know, on this project, and it sounds easy, but this is the potato and gravy game changer for daily potato. We've all would have had the KFC potato and gravy as we were growing up, I'm sure. There is no large potato and gravy offer in the market today. We've been partnering with a major retailer, I won't say their name just yet, but this product itself is 100% Tasmanian potatoes with gravy, and it will be actually sitting in the hot box. Where everybody gets the hot chickens from, or the hot roast porks when you go into a major retailer. I'll give you an example of, in that hot box, those hot roast chickens, one major retailer in Australia sells 50 million a year chickens. The other major retailer sells 30 million chickens a year. We've actually secured a partnership to go into that hot box alongside those chickens. There's a 450 gram and a 250 gram for on the go. So the 450 gram will be retailed at $5.50. The chicken's about $10, $10.50. So you can sort of feed your family for, $15, $16. That'll feed a family of 4 quite easily. If we can get 1% of those numbers, we'll be pretty happy. I think we'll be working 24/7, 365 days a year. So this is a credit to, example of where flexible we are and nimble we are. The amount of work that's gone into this project is just phenomenal. And it sounds easy, but my word, it's not easy. We've had lots of failures, and that's what R&D is about. But we've finally nailed it. We've got specially imported film coming to take the temperature. It's got to be heated at 180, and logistics to make that happen is quite incredible. So we're really looking forward to this, and this is we're launching in mid-January. So hopefully you'll be able to feed your family from Pure Foods quite easily. And just a bit about Woodbridge. I said Woodbridge is, it's one of the best places to go to. I'm very lucky the people in this room that live down there. I know there's a couple of shareholders live down that way, but it's a special place. You know, you even feel that special when you go down there, but it is the DNA of Woodbridge, the brand itself. Tas Pate, we are revamping Tas Pate. We've got some innovative new pack designs coming. Tas Pate itself is sort of the cornerstone of the Pure Foods Group at the moment. It continues to grow. It's a great business. It's, you know, it's got 7 customers, 7 suppliers, and about 7 or 8 SKUs. It's such a simple business, and it just continues to grow. We're the biggest pate business in the country by volume, but not by value, because we hold some large white label business as well. So, and it's a credit to Sam and his team, because they're just amazing what they've been able to achieve. The volume is significantly up with Tas Pate. We're doing that same in less amount of days. We put some automation in, and we put some investment in there as well. We did quite a significant upgrade of that factory, which Malcolm mentioned earlier today. So that's allowed us to grow and to support that brand. Homestead you've seen before, but that's a really exciting brand, and a credit to the marketing team. New Pastures is really cool, pastoral colours. It makes you want to eat it, but please try some at the back. Melted cheese is coming. We talked about seafood before, I mentioned that. Oysters, we're just pretty exciting, this space here. We're about to launch fresh frozen oysters. So Tasmanian organic fresh frozen oysters, a dozen oysters, through our distribution channel through Mondo Nissan. We'll be launching into the IGA stores nationally. We're hoping to get that executed before Christmas. With fresh frozen oysters, it basically has a 3-month shelf life while they're frozen. Once you thaw them, obviously you can chew them straight away. They are frozen, snap frozen, so they actually put the oyster to sleep. You pull it out of its pouch and you set it in the ambient water in the sink, and then within 5 minutes you've got fresh oysters. And it absolutely, you cannot taste the difference. It's quite incredible. The technology has been around for a long time, but the market hasn't been using it. Traditionally, the wholesale market has been very different. This is taking directly to retail. There's no one in the country that's supplying there's no one oyster grower supplying the country in one format. It's a very fragmented industry. We believe with our relationships and our marketing skills, we can be one supplier, one retailer can go to us, so we can supply the whole country, which is significant. There's plenty of great oysters grown in Tasmania. So that's super exciting. This was only just, I need to put this slide in a bit about Daily. Daily, this photo shoot was only done the other day, but you know, Daily is quite an amazing business. It's all 100% Tasmanian grown. Susie's husband Jared actually grows the potatoes. We've got a long-term 10-year supply agreement with that. Susie's locked in for 30 years with us, I think. So we're very lucky to have Susie involved. You know, the Daily business has a cellar business for summer, and it has a meals business for winter. So, and it got massive growth. I mean, the sales we've had in November, it's 20% up on the same November last year, as of yesterday as well. So it's had a really strong month. And so we're putting some innovation. We're going to put some money in, we put some capital into Daily to make more efficient and allow for growth, because it's actually growing really well. So that was all. So any questions?
Just in relation to your acquisitions, would you be looking at on the mainland, or are you trying to keep it with Tasmania?
Absolutely trying to keep it Tasmanian where possible. And I won't say never, because I was asked the same question some time ago, but I do like New Zealand. I think New Zealand has very much the same sort of DNA as us. But that will be once we've exhausted all opportunities here. And I won't say never, because you just never know. If we did buy a brand that wasn't produced here, we would bring it back to here. So if we bought a brand out of the mainland, we would bring the brand here to produce it, because it's all about the Tasmanian DNA and using Tasmanian suppliers and people here, because that's what we are. So, yeah.
Michael, local e-commerce, where does it expect itself to?
Like just through, and need to run some pros, so whoever orders online will deliver
Australia.
All over Australia. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're supplying Western Australia into Queensland. Where else have we gone? Canberra, Melbourne. Yeah.
We went King Island, Blue Mountains.
King Island. There you go. Yeah. So you know, and we've got, well, it's overseas, but you know, I shouldn't downgrade the e-commerce success in Australia, but where I'm super excited about this recent last night's email that the Alibaba thing could take to another level. Yes.
Yes. Sorry, going back to your last question, if you get New Zealand products, bring them back to Tasmania as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, if we could. Yeah. I mean, that New Zealand could be 2 years, 3 years away, but if there was an opportunity that came up there, potentially get the brands and bring them back and produce them here. Yeah, I mean, New Zealand's very similar to Australia, to Tasmania. It's really same geographical space and not far from the same latitude, the bottom end of it anyway. So, but that'll be, I reckon that'll be some time away, but I'm just, I wouldn't say never. Yeah.
With such tremendous growth, we're obviously keeping an eye on emerging bottlenecks. And design, I assume, has tried to take account of that in its beforehand. But is that something that's actively? Yeah, we actually have a design of a new factory currently on my desk as well, initial drafting. So we're actually planning for 2 years out. That's just early stages. So we are planning for our growth ahead. We've also got an automation program in place where we've actually got a quote. Actually, we're only looking at yesterday for a full turnkey solution for Tasmania, which will probably give us about an uplift of probably 800% of extra additional volume. So the automation will actually support our growth. There hasn't been a lot of automation in the business today. So now we have more time to sit down and focus on it. I've built lots of factories in my time, and automation is critical to make sure, maybe food safety, yield, all that sort of stuff. I mean, the business itself is nearly got the same cash it did when it listed. I think, we listed at 4 million. I think we've got 3.98 in the bank today. So we're not actually burning cash. We've got positive cash flow and it's going well. Yeah.
Michael,
yes.
The distributor in Singapore, the e-commerce distributor, what countries did you
Which one? You're talking about Alibaba?
Yeah, that one.
Well, they go into 7 Asian countries. You can look on their website. So they actually go into Indonesia as well. They're in obviously Hong Kong. I think they're in Taiwan as well. So they've got a really big reach. I think they turn over, Redmart turn over 100 million on their own. I think the Alibaba group in food is, well, I think it's like 500 million or something. So it's significant because they've got actually dedicated physical stores as well. And then they have their e-commerce channel.
So once you're on the one in Singapore, does that mean? Yeah,
they'll flow through. Yep, straight through. And it was interesting, and I'll be openly say this, so I won't mention his name, but I got the introduction of this. We've got a Singaporean shareholder who actually contacted me and said, can I line you up with the Meat Club introduction there to the MD? And then he lined me up with an introduction to the buying director of Redmart Alibaba. And for her to engage, the female, she engaged straight away, which was quite amazing because we're quite small, but really loved the Tasmanian story. We sent samples, we sent 3 or 4 different lots of samples. It took like nearly 5 months. But they loved our profile because you can imagine the Norwegian salmon's there, every product you can think of the world they have access to. And ours was rated over the taste test over every other salmon have been presented to them.
Did they give you any guidance on sales volumes?
I won't tell you what the numbers are, Ron, because I can't justify that because they're quite large. But we got to see that happen before I present those sort of numbers. But yeah, it can be quite significant. Yeah, so that's super exciting, and it's about taking Tasmanian produce to the world and just use e-commerce. It's a lot easier than the old-fashioned up in the street days and putting trucks on the road to use other people's trucks. So. But to be the, actually she said to me, the buyer said, you're the only Tasmanian product we have in our warehouse. So that's pretty cool. So pretty proud of that and proud of the team for supporting us to get there. So anything else?
Sorry, going back to Singapore, they're going to have sales in Japan and China?
I reckon they do. So I haven't actually followed up exactly which countries, but I reckon they would be definitely into there. China's not a focus of ours, to be honest. I mean, if they want to do it, they can.
Yeah.
Our Hong Kong business, for example, in November, which is early this month, they took triple their normal order in 1 week. So Hong Kong's still getting really good growth. Well, there's a bit of unrest, but our Singaporean business is actually going berserk. But I think a lot of people in Hong Kong are moving to Singapore to live. But what also happens with the Meat Club people and also the Redmart people, Alibaba, they know each other. So they know that our brand's available in both, and that wasn't a concern for them because the demand for their products is so strong. That's how everybody shops over there, and especially through COVID, no one is going outside. There's enough people, yeah, it's a pretty big number. And, Singapore's so small, they can deliver pretty quickly. So it's pretty exciting for us. So we can add more product to it, and we're going to do some MPD with daily, so potentially we can get some longer shelf life. So hopefully we'll be able to export daily one day, which would be really exciting.
Michael, would it be fair to say there's an Anna branch of Pure Foods that's employing the distribution structure that Pure Foods is developing?
Yes.
As a with the oysters and the other Tasmanian Pure Foods.
Yes.
Although the margins are smaller. But
yes.
Is that a sort
yeah,
of
no, we're definitely doing that, because we are on our e-commerce site ourselves. We have, if you look on our site, we've done coffee, we've done honey, we've done chocolate, but all those things. But also, it's a two-pronged attack. Is having a basket that is attractive when you go online, so you don't have to go to 5 different sites. You can just go to one. It's a Tassie hamper, if you want to say it. But also gives, we think that sells really well. We can then get Ken and the team to approach them and say, would you interested in joining us? So it's a bit of a two-pronged approach, because the best, it's quite frustrating when you go online, you want to buy some food, but if it's all there, you're going to go back to that site every time. And Anita spends so much time, she's on it 24/7. As soon as she's awake, she's on it, pumping it, putting new opportunities up there. But the engagement has been, we've got, as I said, companies from New York that love what we're doing. Singaporean shareholders are all over it as well. So it is really exciting. And it's a great place to work. And I just want to say thanks to all the staff and the board for supporting with myself. I didn't know I was going to get this busy again in my life, but this has gone back to 30 years ago. So out of hours that we're doing, but we've got a really good team. Everybody's working really hard. We are very nimble. We don't have a big corporate structure, and I'm mindful of that. So I don't want to load it up with too much cost. We have to grow to justify that. But the team have done an amazing job. I'm very proud of them. Everyone in this room, they know who they are, all been involved and supported us. So thank you to everyone.
Okay, no more questions. Thank you for that, Michael, and the thanks and the respect goes mutually. Michael said it's a matter of timing. I guess you've got to have some timing and luck, as they say, but there's also a lot of hard work that goes into this, and Michael's guidance, the plans that he makes, and the team that he's got together. And as I said, a few of those people are here today. So it's gone really well. It's going to go even better, and I think we should show our appreciation to that team. So thank you. So on behalf of the board, thank you everyone for attending today's meeting. I'm sure you'll want to be attending future meetings, and hopefully we've got some time to have a bit of a chat and try some of our fantastic Pure Foods product that's out the back.